In today's lesson, we will be talking about how can we change the subject of a formula. So changing the subject of a formula is all about rearranging the formula so that we have a different subject. So we have to manipulate the equation to make any letter in the equation the subject of it. So for example, I have V equals U plus AT, and I have to make T the subject, which means that I have to put T on one side and all other variables on the other side of my equation. So the first step is I have to subtract U from the right hand side of the equation to get rid of the U, and I have to subtract U from the left hand side of the equation. So I will subtract U from both sides of the equation. So I have minus U here and minus U here as well. So I get V minus U equals AT. Now the second step is to divide both sides by A. So I will divide the right hand side by A and the left hand side by A. So I get T equals V minus U over A. So T is put on the left hand side of the equation and all other variables on the right hand side of the equation. Let's have an example. It says make y the subject of the formula x equals y plus z over y minus z. So the first step is to cross multiply y minus z times x. So I'll get x times y minus z equals y plus z. Now I'm going to expand my bracket on the left hand side of the equation. So I'll get x y minus x z equals y plus z. Now to make y the subject, I'm putting all the y's on the left hand side of my equation. So I will move y to the left hand side and negative xz to the right hand side. So I'll get x y minus y equals x z plus z. Now I will take y as a common factor, so I will get y times x minus 1 equals z. So I'm taking here z as a common factor, so z times x plus 1. So I will divide the left hand side by x minus 1 and the right hand side by x minus 1. So y becomes z times x plus 1 over x minus 1. Now the second example, it says make p the subject of the formula h squared equals p squared plus b squared. So to make p the subject, I'm keeping p squared on the right hand side of the equation, but I'm moving b squared to the left hand side of the equation. So it becomes p squared equals h squared minus b squared. So to make p the subject, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of p squared is equal to the square root of h squared minus b squared. So p becomes plus or minus the square root of h squared minus b squared.